Something changed in robotics this year. The machines became softer, faster, smarter, more human, and in some cases, a lot more dangerous. China unveiled a soft humanoid robot that can shapeshift, float, swim, fly, and even walk on water, defying everything we thought was physically possible. A robot named Moya was revealed in Shanghai, described as the world's first fully biomimetic embodied intelligent robot, with a walking accuracy of 92% and a body temperature maintained between 32 and 36 degrees Celsius during interaction. It can smile, it can hold eye contact, and it made thousands of people deeply uncomfortable because it feels too human. Then Boston Dynamics dropped the bombshell everyone had been waiting for. Atlas, its humanoid robot, is being manufactured immediately with deployments scheduled at Hyundai and Google DeepMind. The backflipping research robot, it's now an industrial worker. Chinese humanoid robots performed kung fu moves, choreographed dances, and elaborate gymnastics at the country's Spring Festival Gala, the world's most watched television program. And then, it gets darker. China unveiled robotic wolf packs with AI, missiles, and grenade launchers designed for urban warfare, capable of firepower-based target suppression in dense urban scenarios. We've crossed a line we can't uncross. And just when you thought robots couldn't get any more sci-fi, Unitree Robotics unveiled the GD1, a manned mecha resembling an Autobot from Transformers, weighing 500 kilograms with a pilot on board. So yes, you can literally pilot a giant robot now. Now here's the question we need to answer. Are we watching the birth of a new industrial revolution, or the moment humans started building their own replacements? When robots can look human, work like humans, learn faster than humans, and carry weapons into combat zones, where does this end? And more importantly, are we ready for what comes next? That's exactly what we're going to answer in this video. So stay until the end, because this story gets a lot crazier than you think. In Shanghai, a robotics company called DroidUp just revealed a humanoid named Moya, and they're calling it the world's first fully biomimetic embodied intelligent robot. That's a mouthful, yet the idea behind it is simple. This thing isn't built to look like a machine that happens to walk. It's built to move, react, and exist in a way that feels human on a very subtle level, both physically and socially. Moya sits right in that zone people have argued about for years, the space where robots stop looking like tools and start feeling like artificial people. It's not industrial, it's not cartoonish, and it's not trying to be cute or exaggerated. The whole design direction is realism without going full sci-fi android. In videos that blew up on Chinese social media and were later covered by the South China Morning Post, you see Moya making steady eye contact, smiling slightly, nodding as if it's actually following a conversation, and walking with a gait that honestly makes you do a double take. DroidUp says the robot can reproduce human micro-expressions, and that's a big deal, because those tiny facial movements around the eyes, cheeks, and mouth are exactly what make interactions feel natural instead of robotic and stiff. It's not just about moving lips, it's about subtle timing and small muscle-like shifts that humans read almost subconsciously. Physically, Moya is built almost like an average adult, and the proportions are very intentional. It stands 1.65 meters tall, about 5'5", and weighs roughly 32 kilograms, or 70 pounds. That weight is surprisingly low for a full humanoid, which suggests a lightweight internal structure and probably careful material choices to keep the mass down while still supporting smooth motion. Visually, though, it still carries human proportions in the torso, limb length, and overall posture, which helps avoid the toy-like or mechanical look a lot of other humanoids still have. Another detail that really shows how far they're pushing realism is body temperature. DroidUp says Moya maintains a surface temperature between 32 and 36 degrees Celsius, which is 89.6 to 96.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you're close to it, or potentially interacting physically, it doesn't feel like cold metal or plastic. It feels warm, closer to a living person than a machine, which can really change how comfortable people feel around it over longer interactions. The company also claims Moya's walking posture has a 92% accuracy compared to human gait. That number is about how natural the motion looks and flows, not just whether it can stay upright or avoid falling. A lot of humanoids can technically walk from point A to point B. Very few can do it in a way where your brain stops tracking the mechanics and starts reacting socially, almost like you're watching another person move through the room. That's where Moya is clearly aiming. Online reactions in China were mixed, and that's putting it lightly. Some people were fascinated, saying this is the future of companions, assistants, and service robots in everyday environments. Others said it gave them chills, which is classic uncanny valley territory, where something looks almost human, yet just off enough to feel unsettling. That tension is basically built into this kind of design. Technically, DroidUp hasn't released a full deep dive into the hardware stack,